Dear participants, if everyone is present,
yes,
maybe we can
hello
start.
again. I was wondering when we will start. If Anna is ready, yes, we can start.
Okay, the first part will be introduced by me.
Okay, great, thank you.
So I think we can start now. First of all, I want to say a couple of words to our stakeholders about our project, because the second part of our presentation will be dedicated to the role of the Armenia on the Silk Road and in the project. So let me share with you the presentation. Okay. So it's working, yes. So dear participants, let's start with a couple of words about our project. What is the main aim of our SILC project? About 2-3 years ago, with partners from 5 countries, Greece, Armenia, Georgia, and Romania and Bulgaria, represented by 3 universities from Greece, Armenia, and Bulgaria, and NGO and institute from Romania and Georgia. A SILC project was launched. The project aims to strengthen and diversify tourism, proposing directions for the Silk Road in the studied areas. We mean these 5 countries, and also to strengthen regional cooperation and cross-border partnership. So this is the main aim of our project. Of course, now we will introduce the role that Armenia can play in this project, and here you can see on our slides main elements for the Silk route in Armenia. The first, it will be clusters that will form the backbone of Silk Road in Armenia. But first, let's talk a little about Armenia on the Silk Road. I think it will be interesting to everyone to understand the connection of Armenia and the main Silk Road. Yes. The Great Silk Road passed via the territory of Armenia for many centuries. We can see the proof, the first information about the usage of silk in Armenia in the works of Armenian famous historian Moses Horenatsi. The information about the usage of silk refers to the Armenian king Artaxerxes I, who was the founder of capital city Artashat. And here we must mention that Artashat was one of the famous Silk Road center of Armenia. So here we can see the proofs that and many other mentions also that silk in Armenia was highly appreciated beginning from the 2nd century before Christ. So this kind of information can be a proof that it was a close link between different countries and between Armenia and the Great Silk Road. However, the silk was not the main product on the Silk Road, of course. because this road was used also from the many products, yes, for trade with tea, bronze, gold, metal, animals, and this list can be completed with curtains, pillows, religious objects, art objects, and so on. Also we can mention that one of the ancient capitals of Armenia, Tigranakert, found by that Tigran the Great, it was one of the most famous king of Armenia, also was connected with Artashat, the ex-capital of Armenia, and it was called Royal Road. We can say that Silk Road was flexible and adaptable for the changes and the demands of different centuries, people, and historical events. Silk Road has never been a fixed road. Merchants and travelers always had a chance to choose the route. It was various route crossing a variety of regions, and Armenia was one of the regions on this route. Also, we can mention that Varashapat, the capital city, also was connected with the development of trade routes. This is one more proof for for the connection of Armenia and Silk Road. Also, I want to mention that even after the fall of the Silk Road, Armenian merchants continued their activities in China and India till 18th century. And here on our slides, you can see the ancient map, where also we can see the proof that Armenia was one of the points, yes, on this ancient route. So, due to our geographical location between Black Sea, Central Asia, and Europe and Middle East, the nowadays territory of the Republic of Armenia was an important and hub on the Silk Road. And today we can say that also Armenia can play a role on the new Silk Road. Let's mention that today in 5 regions that were chosen for our research, 5 regions, or we call them Marzis of Armenia, Syunik, Galadzor, Ararat, Aragazordan, and Shirak Marzis. They have been they was chosen for our main research. So we can say that more than 100 cultural tangible as a heritage assets can be found in these 5 regions. For the modern cultural assets, special attention was paid to ethnographic museums, galleries, house museums located in urban and rural communities along the Silk Road Armenian section, yes. Intangible cultural heritage have both similar and different regional patterns. Mostly similarities refer to traditional types of economic activities and specializations. For example, fruit, vegetables, grape culture, and from Ararat Valley, Galadzor, and Syunik Marzis. Let's start to represent our cluster points that can be found on our Silk Road. So here presented the main Silk Roads in Armenia based on following clusters. From Syunik Mars, we can see Mehri Kapan, Southern Syunik, yes, cluster. Goris and Sisian cluster, Galadzor Mars, represented by Armenia cluster, Galadzor Vernashen cluster, Galadzor Yeregis Selin cluster, Vaik Jermuk cluster. Also, we can here mention the capital, Yerevan. In Aragatzot Mars, we chosen Ashtarak town cluster, Ashtarak rural cluster, Telin cluster. In Ararat Mars, Dvin Lusat cluster, Fostrov Lusakov cluster, and in Shirak Mars, Gyumri Marmarashain cluster, Ani cluster, Arctic cluster. So let's see main points on the mentioned cluster, and let's start from this unique Mars. SILCNECT, one of our 10 administrative units of Armenia, or MERZs, as we call them, located in the far southern part of the country. So here we mentioned Megri Kapan Southern Cluster. And here I was also I want to mention the North-South Highway that could be considered as the modern analog of the Silk Road on the territory of the Republic of Armenia, starting from Bavra border, crossing point of Armenia-Georgia state border. This road continues up to the city of Mehri at Iranian border in SILCNECT. So it crossed the territory of Armenia from northwest to southwest. So here, sorry, we have, we can also say that North-South Highway and adjusted territories will be considered to be territorial axis of research also. Accordingly, the objectives of tangible cultural heritage, as well as our natural monuments located close to the highway, will be listed and described also in our research. Let's start with Megri Kapan cluster. This cluster is located in the southern part of SILCNECT and includes Arax, Mehri, Tsaf, and Vorchi rivers valley, as well as southern Zangezur, Mehri, and Barhushat mountain ranges. Here we can mention the city of Mehri in Armenian-Iranian border. In our research, we described it separately. So here we can mention Mahanavank Monastery, dated 10th, 18th centuries. Here the main monuments are the St. Gregory Illuminator's Church, Holy Mother of God Church, tumblestones of the rulers of SILCNECT Kingdom. Sorry. Also, we can mention here Renonorovan with construction period of 10th, 18th centuries. And also here presented Yeritsvank monastery dated by the 5th century, and Bekianapat complex dated by the 10th century. So you can here also see on slides many monuments, the church of 17th century, Khachkars, Armenian cross stones. Even here we can see evidence of pagan culture now. We can say that, for example, Bekianapat complex also today is a popular destination for hiking and horse riding tourists. Here also we can mention Galadzor fortress with the construction period of 17th century. Main monuments here: Galadzor Fortress, Holy Mother of God Church. Its accessibility, we can mention that the monastery is 3 kilometers south to the Megri-Kapan highway. I think here we must mention the Mehri, the Silk Road gate to Armenia. This city has a strategic geographical location on North-South highway and in the context of Silk Road communication system. Mehri is famous for the fortress, churches, monasteries dating 15th, 18th centuries, and significant contribution to Armenian historical liberation movement and favorable location in Arax Valley. So here we have opportunities for the following spheres: historical and cultural tourism, for ecotourism, and for agritourism and gastronomical tourism. Today, historical and cultural tourism is developed here, so we have is developing here, so we have opportunities for agritourism and ecotourism also. Let's move to Goris cluster. As you can see it marked red on the map. Goris cluster located at the East Syunik, including the city of Goris, and it's a typical mountainous area. Goris has a great historical, cultural, and natural heritage. The main monuments of tangible culture of Goris, they are Tatev Monastery Complex. Its construction period goes to the 9th, 10th centuries. It's considered to be the most visited cultural attraction in Syunik, as well as one of the most well-known and popular destinations in Armenia. And we can say it's a real masterpiece of medieval Armenian religious architecture. Here, main monuments are St. Paul and Peter Church, St. Gregory the Illuminator Church, Holy Mother of God Church, khachkars and tombstones, fortification walls and construction. Also, we can mention Haranzanapat architectural complex, with the construction period of 17th century. It's a former medieval abbey, and it's after an earthquake in 17th century, the abbey was removed to the Tatev Monastery. Here you can also see the main monuments, refectory, basilica church, and walls. Also, St. Ripsime Church with the construction period of 4th, 5th centuries. Also, I want to mention Khanzoresk. Khanzoresk was among the largest villages in contemporary territory of Armenia in the end of 19th century and in the beginning of the 20th century. And it was an area with developed economy with arts and crafts. Here we can find several tourist attractions, rock formations, artificial caves, historical events. Khanzoresk was involved in Armenian national liberation movement of 18th century. So here we can find the tomb of Mkhitar Sparapet, national hero, Armenian national hero. We can find it on the country yard of St. Tatevos Church. Also other monuments here are presented: Palace of Melik, Hakhnasar, St. Gregory the Illuminator's Church in Goris, and so on. Let's move to Sisian cluster. Sisian cluster is located upper and middle part of the basin of Rotan River. Here, the main attractions: Vorotnavank Monastery Complex, dated approximate 10th, 15th centuries construction period. Karahuj may be one of the famous tourist attraction in Armenia, because we called it Armenian Stonehenge. So we can say that approximate period of construction of Zorat Karet goes to 7,100 years before Christian. It's located about 4 kilometers north of the city of Sisian. We can also mention Vorotnavank Monastery here, and Ukhtasar rock paintings also presented here. Tanahat Monastery, with the construction period of 5th or 7th centuries. Here, the main monuments remaining of tombstones, settlements, Khachkars, Armenian Khachkars, and Siuni Monastery, about construction period about 7th century. It's located on the hilltop northern of Sisian. I want to mention that the territory of Siunik is unique idea of national diversity. Also, here we can find a big variety of natural landscapes. It also attracts tourists very much. Let's move to Vayotzor Mars. You can see it on the map, also marked in red. Vayotzor region or Mars is located southeast of the Republic of Armenia. So here, the capital of Vayotzor is Galadzor, and we want to mention two towns, Vaik and Jermuk here. And let's start with Areni-Noravank cluster. Areni-Noravank cluster, located in the west of Vayotzor, lower part of Arka River basin. Here you can see main attractions also. The most famous monuments of tangible culture here are Noravank Monastery Complex, Areni Church, and we can say that they are famous for their natural attractions as well. They are presented on slides also. We can say that Noravank Monastery Complex constructed at 13th, 14th centuries by the order of Orbelian princes. Here the main monuments are St. Astvatsatin Church, St. Karapet Church, St. Grigor Chapel, Khachkars, including masterpiece of Armenian master Momik, and fortress walls. Let's move to Galadzor Furnishing cluster. Galadzor Furnishing cluster is located in the central part of central western part of Vayotzor. Here main monuments are Spitakavor, St. Astvatsatin Monastery, Proshabert Fortress, Tanahat Monastery, St. Haj. They are all presented here. All dated from 8th century, from 13th century. St. Hutch monastery of Arcas dated, its estimated date from 8th century. Yeregis selling cluster represented here also. It's located in northern and northwestern part of Galadzor in the valleys of Yeregis River. So you can see here some main attractions, tourists, Sambata Bert, it's a fortress dated approximately by 5th century. Selim Caravanserai, and other monasteries. St. Stepanos Temple of Yeregis, dated by the 14th century. Herman Monastery, Arates Monastery, Zorats Astvazatsin Church of Yeregis. Vaik-Jermuk cluster. Vaik-Jermuk cluster is situated in the upper part of Arpa Rivers here, and as well as the areas located sort of Vaik. Here we can find these tourist attractions: Gandevang, dated by the 10th century, St. Astvazatsin Monastery of Martyros, and one of the famous our towns at Jermuk Resort. It's a resort town. Here we have two main natural factors in Jermuk Resort. It's climate conditions and hot mineral waters. Here the properties of Jermuk mineral waters have long been known, and they have magic abilities, yes, to cure many diseases, let's say this way. Let's move to Aragatsot and Mars. In our research, we presented also Ararat and Aragatsot and Mars regions. Here we can mention Ashtarak town cluster, represented by the following tourism attractions: Deliverable Monastery, St. Sarkis Church, Spitakavor Church, Tiranavor Church. Ashtarak rural cluster. Here you can also see main tourism attractions: Terer Monastery, Povanavang Monastery complex, dated from 4th to 13th centuries, Ambert fortress. Here the main monuments are the fortress, with also we can find here church dated to the 18th century. Samosavang Monastery, St. Georg Church, Aruch village. Aruch is famous with one of the famous caravanserais located here. So also it's a medieval Silk Road communication point, and so we must mention it. Let's move to the Tallinn cluster. Tallinn cluster is occupying the southwestern part of Aragatsot and Mars, having a favorable location on north-south transport axis between Yerevan and Gyumri, and within the former Silk Road communication system. Here we have different also tourism attractions: St. Georg Church of Garnahovit, Dashtadem Fortress, Karmirvang or Red Monastery, yes, in English, St. Georg Church, all dated from 7th centuries. And let's move to Ararat Mars. And here Ararat Mars is represented with Dwin Lusart cluster. Here we must mention Dwin town site. Here we must mention that Dwin was one of the historical capitals of Armenia. And nowadays, the ruins of Dvin are scattered within the administrative territories of 10 villages of Verin Dvin, Verin Artashat, and Dagestan. And also Horvirab Monastery, which is situated on the one of the hill of Artashat. It's a historical capital city of Armenia. We talked about it at the beginning. Here, it dated with the 3rd century. Let's move to the Khostrov-Lusakov cluster. It's represented with several tourism attractions, also proposed for our Silk Road. Tepi Fortress, Hovanes Karapet Monastery Complex, Kakavabert Fortress, Havut Tar Complex, yes, and Akhshot Monastery. And let's go to Shirak Mars. Here in Shirak Mars, we have Gyumri Marmarashen cluster. Here we must talk about Gyumri. It's the administrative center of Shirak Mars and the second largest city of Armenia. Also, the nickname of Gyumri is Sfada city of Armenia. The city is located about 125 kilometers northwest of Yerevan, and it's connected to the capital city via regular roads. Here we can find Shirak International Airport. You remember Anna talked about it in her presentation. Also, we must mention here Marmarashen. It's a village located about 7 kilometers northwest of Gyumri, the left bank of Akhurian River. Here we can find famous Marmarashen Monastery complex, constructed by Bahram Pahlavani in 10th and 18th century. Let's move to Ani cluster, represented by these tourism attractions. Monuments of Batrashen village, Galadzor village, Yereruit Basilica Church, Arctic cluster, monuments of Pemzashen village, Harich, Skandarian village, also presented here. Here we can find, as I said, Pemzashen village. Let's mention that it's a village located about 25 kilometers southwest of Gyumri. It's very rich of tooth supplies, so it's also famous for its rich cultural heritage. Pemzashen church dated by the 7th centuries. Arakelot Monastery dated approximately 10th, 18th centuries. Different medieval churches, chapels, and Armenian Khachkars. Harich village, located 22 kilometers southwest of Gyumri. So we mentioned, I think, the all clusters. And in conclusion, I want to say that Armenia played a significant and great role within the Silk Road travel and communication system. As I mentioned, it was a very significant hub, yes, located on the Silk Road. And we can also follow this tradition and develop new Silk Road using all these clusters that was mentioned in our presentation. So we also want to mention main groups of our conclusion. Firstly, it will be location and accessibility. Geographically, the main Silk Road tangible and intangible cultural assets are mostly spread along the longest territorial axis of Armenia, from the northwest, from Shirak, to the southeast, it's unique, and Arax River Valley. Also, tangible cultural assets have different levels of accessibility. The monuments located within the urban and rural settlements are easily accessible. However, the strategic and safety reasons, the majority of architectural masterpieces were constructed in high mountainous areas or forest areas since Middle Ages. So it can cause a challenge for tourist groups. Foundation types and classifications. Chronologically, the cultural heritage assets located along the Silk Road in Armenia, they belong to different time periods. So here we have Zorat Karesh, yes, and also we have monasteries dated by the 19th, 20th centuries, yes, and they also located on this part of Silk Road Armenia section. Also, they can be included on this road. And further usage. Both Silk Road tangible and intangible cultural heritage assets have a great significance and potential in the context of tourism development. All mentioned clusters, as I said, can be used to create different tourist routes connected with SILC label. Yes. Also, I mentioned that besides of rich cultural heritage in these areas, yes, connected with Silk Road, with Silk Road history, we have a diversity of natural heritage also. And here we can develop ecotourism, geotourism, biotourism, extreme tourism, hiking, yes. Also, they can be used creating a new innovative tourist product along the Silk Road in Armenia. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you to Ms. Victoria, that was great. Now we will see if anyone has questions.
Dear guests, dear participants.
Okay, so if everything is all right, we will close this webinar.
Oh, no. Sorry, we have one question from Rita Ohanyan. She's representing Highway Airlines. Rita wants to thank us for the interesting report. Thank you, Rita, also. And she's noting that this initiative will contribute to increasing the tourist attractiveness of our region. Yes, and will contribute to the sustainable development of local communities in Armenia. Yes, yes, it's thank you. It's our main aim. Thank you, Rita. And from Shagane, my question will refer to the brand positioning of mentioned new Silk Road in Armenia. Which steps will be taken for the positioning? Yes, good question. Thank you, Shagane. In the framework of our project, we develop SILCNECT Label You can see it on our presentation. Sorry, I stopped sharing it, but you noticed the logo of SILCNECT Label. So the all main Silk roads developed, yes, within the framework of our projects can be officially branded with this, yes, logo of our SILCNECT Label. And also in the framework of our consortium, in the framework of our project, we will develop a virtual observatory. So it will introduce all the heritage, yes, that we can present. Yes, each country participating in this project can present. It will be a virtual observatory introducing an web-based, yes, mechanism for monitoring and reporting Silk Road entrepreneurial dynamic in the Black Sea involved areas. Yes, so it will be a web platform for monitoring, gathering, and reporting all the Silk Road initiatives. So we can also make positioning via using our observatory, virtual observatory. It also can be an instrument for the positioning. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer. I hope it's everything for the question. There are some more questions. Let's see, let's wait.
Thank you for participating.
Yes, thank everyone for participating, yes, and thank you for your presentation. And we will be back with the other webinars soon. Thank you all and have a great day.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, goodbye.
It was nice to meet everyone. Thank you for your attention once more, dear participants. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.